I want to show you a card that's really special to me. Probably the card that got me collecting in the first place. So in 2014, I went into a shop called Game, basically UK's version of GameStop. I'd actually bought some packs months earlier on eBay that were very obviously weighed and got scammed. Like the seller had literally snipped holes in the packs to make sure there wasn't anything good in them. I didn't want to get scammed again, and without a single shred of social awareness, I asked the poor dude behind the counter, "Are these packs weighed?" And he just stutters and looks at me like, what? I don't know. Clearly they weren't weighed, because when I took them home and opened them, one of the packs had this beautiful monster of a card in it. The Silver Dialga Secret Rare. I didn't even know what a secret rare was. And ever since then, I've been hooked. Pokemon cards have been through a lot the past few years, but now a whole new generation started and I wanted to dive back in again. When I last talked about Pokemon cards, things weren't in a good place. The demand was crazy. The scalping had gotten so bad that some stores were just straight up refusing to sell them because people were causing so much trouble. So have things calmed down? Yes, kind of. Pokemon have definitely met the demand. I read this figure the other day that stated that nearly 20% of all Pokemon cards were printed in 2022 alone. This includes during Pokemania of the 90s. Scalping isn't as much of an issue, but it definitely still happens for certain products. But surprisingly enough, the problem isn't with the English cards anymore, it's the Japanese cards. I saw a video recently of a queue taken outside a retailer the night before a new set was due to release in Japan, and the queue just keeps going and going, out the shopping center, into the streets. Much worse than anything we've seen for English cards. And these are mostly people looking to resell stuff online. It's wild because for as long as I've been collecting Pokemon cards, the Japanese versions have always been so much cheaper than the English versions. But now if you take, say, the new Iono card that everyone's going nuts for, the Japanese version goes for up to 10 times as much as the English one. Like, I'm not complaining. If I had a choice for the card to be cheapest in my native language, I would choose that. It's just so strange to me. It's like everything I knew about collecting just doesn't make sense anymore. But if you do want to step into the world of Japanese card collecting, then a great way to do so is with the help of this video's sponsor, Buyee. They're a proxy buying service that help you buy cool Japanese goodies. Generally speaking, Japanese cards and really just any Pokemon merchandise is much cheaper on Japanese sites than on English sites, so it can be really helpful. For example, recently I used Buyee to buy this 5-game lot, which, including fees and shipping, came to around £70 total. This game on its own would have cost more than that if I got it on an English site. It's kind of just a no-brainer. You can use Buyee on tons of sites, including Rakuten, Yahoo Shopping, Yahoo Auctions, Pokemon Center, and loads more. And if you use my link in the description, you can get a first-time order coupon for 10% off. Huge thanks to Buyee for sponsoring this vid. But back to card collecting. So things are bad for Japanese card collectors right now, but it's not much better for English card collectors either. In my last video, I did a comparison of two different sets to show just how unreasonable of a hobby collecting Pokemon cards has become. The first set was the one that I started collecting with, X and Y Furious Fists. I estimated that if you were buying just all of the Ultra Rares from the set, then you'd have to pay around $150. Then I compared it to a more recent set, Sun and Moon Lost Thunder. Lost Thunder has an obscene amount of Ultra Rares, so it wasn't really a surprise that its total came out to over $1,200. I thought things couldn't really get much worse than that. I was sorely mistaken. I thought I'd calculate the total of one of the more recent sets, and the total was one of the worst things my innocent eyes have ever been subjected to. In the summer of 2021, there was a set called Evolving Skies. Really cool set. Has a bunch of Evolution cards in it. While Lost Thunder has 61 Ultra Rares, this one has 105. If you want to buy every single Ultra Rare from this set, you'll need to spend over $2,000. I just don't have any words, that is horrendous. But to be honest, I've always found the way Pokemon cards are valued to be quite strange, because value doesn't have a lot to do with how rare something is at all. The main factor that drives an item's value is Charizard. No, but really. Probably 90% of a card's value lies in how popular that particular character is. It has very little to do with the actual rarity. For example, take the Sword and Shield set Brilliant Stars. The most valuable card in the set is the alternate art Charizard V, which as of writing this script has a market value of over $120. There are 3 other alternate art cards in this set, which I would imagine are all about as rare as the Charizard, but they're not gonna go for anywhere near as much because they're not Charizard. Well, let's look at a much older set. Diamond and Pearl's Secret Wonders. What do you think the most valuable card in that set is? Probably the super cool God of War level X, right? Nope, Charizard Holo. This thing is worth $200, several times what the actual ultra rares in the set are worth. According to TCG Player, the least valuable holo in this set is Jumpluff, coming in at just over $4, meaning that this Charizard is worth 45 times more than the Jumpluff. Is it any rarer than Jumpluff? No, it's just Charizard. I want justice for Jumpluff. It's such a nice card too. He's just floating in the wind, having a merry old time. I say it's better than the Charizard. There are lots of other factors that can influence how valuable a Pokemon card is though. Of course, the Pokemon on the card, how old it is, how big of a print run it had, even how competitive a card is in the actual trading card game. I have a tragic tale I can tell you. Back in 2017, one of the most valuable Pokemon cards was the Tapu Lele GX. It was seriously viable in the competitive scene, so everyone wanted it. From what I remember, the regular GX was selling for upwards of $50 a card, with the Full Art and Rainbow Rare being close to $100 each. And I had 7 of them. I don't know why, I just kept pulling it over and over. So I sat smug on my pile of Pokemon card money. I wonder how much they're worth today. Probably like $1 million. $3. So it turns out, once the card got rotated out of the competitive scene, no one wanted it anymore, and now it's gone down in value by more than 10 times. Not my best financial decision. All this to say that I try not to take Pokemon card value too seriously because it's not real. Personally, I'm much more interested in cards that are genuinely rare and obscure, even if they're not as valuable or popular. For example, in my opinion, one of the coolest things I own is this Pokemon Countdown calendar from 2008. Yeah, it's no base set booster box, but it's obscure. It's basically this advent calendar where for each day you get a card with a little foil snowflake printed on it. That's cool. They only just started making them again last year, but I got the original. I think some of my favorite cards in my collection are era cards. A few years ago, I got this Darkrai EX in a trade. I only wanted it because it's super messed up. This is what you'd call a crimped card, meaning that during manufacture, it got caught in the machine and sealed with the outer packaging. Isn't that cool? Or one time I pulled possibly the most miscut Mewtwo level X that exists. Era cards are usually one-of-a-kind items. These cards would never get a PSA 10, but they're special. They get a PSA 10 in my heart. What I love about the Pokemon TCG is that there's so many different ways to enjoy it. Some people like to play the competitive game. Imagine that. Some people like to get the best possible grade for all of their cards. Some don't even open cards at all and just like to keep sealed collections. And some people just like the pretty pictures. I fall into the latter category. I think what brings me the most joy with Pokemon cards is collecting sets. I mean, I don't actually finish sets because you can easily spend thousands trying to complete a single set, and I need the money to buy essentials. What I mean is I enjoy the process. It's hard to describe the amount of joy I feel after opening a new set and putting all the commons and uncommons into a binder. It's just so therapeutic. Like, I know I'm never gonna have all the cards, but it just makes me happy. Now, if you were to ask me if you should open Pokemon cards, usually my answer would be no. Save yourself while you still can. But I think it depends how you're doing it. Just getting a few packs to open up for a bit of fun is pretty harmless. But when you're buying packs and packs just to try and pull one specific card, that's where it can become a problem. If there's a specific card you want, the vast majority of the time you will save a lot of money by just buying said card. Yes, I know it's not as fun as if you pull it yourself, but you know what's also not fun? Spending more money and not having the card you want. If you really have an itch to open Pokemon cards, I think the best value for your money is going to a pre-release. They hold these a couple of weeks before they release a new set, and you get to open cards before they're even out and play matches with people. Don't worry, you don't need to be good at the game. I suck and I still have fun. Even if you don't get anything too great from your packs, they're still a really fun experience, and I definitely recommend giving them a try if there's one near you. The new generation of Pokemon cards are out now, and there are some changes. EXs are back now. Again. They've gotten rid of the rainbow rares, thank goodness. They were kind of fun at first, but when every set has 20 secret rares that are the exact same as other cards in the set, except rainbow, it's kind of exhausting. It's really funny because the rainbow rare trainer cards would often sell for less than the regular full art versions, even though they're meant to be rarer, because people don't like rainbow rares. Don't get me wrong, the Scarlet and Violet sets still have an obscene amount of ultra rares, but at least most of them look different. They're really going all out on the alternate art cards, and Pokemon cards feel more alive than they ever have. It probably helps that the iconic yellow borders are now gone. I know they're classic, but when they're trying to make these immersive full art cards, it was kind of an eyesore, I'm sorry. Something I'm sad about is that they removed the set logos, the little symbols at the bottom of the card. I know this is for consistency with the Japanese sets, but I really liked the little pictures. Like, look at this. The first Sun and Moon set had this cute little logo over Sun and Moon, but for the first Scarlet and Violet set, we get SV1EN. It doesn't hit the same. They've also massively changed the pull ratios going forward. Now you get a guaranteed 3 holo cards per pack, which is massive, and the ultra rares and alternate arts have much better pull rates too. And so I'm gonna completely contradict everything I said in this video and open a load of Pokemon cards. The Pokemon Company actually very kindly sent me an Elite Trainer box of Paldea Evolved, but to be completely transparent, I think I had probably the unluckiest pulls I've ever had from an Elite Trainer box. I mean, even I say that it's healthy to manage your expectations with Pokemon cards, but this was just something else. Just very much statistically improbable. The vast majority of people who buy an ETB are gonna get much better pulls. It happens, it's not the Pokemon Company's fault, and I'm still hugely grateful that they even thought to send me anything. But I felt like that box was a very big outlier, and not accurate to what the normal card opening experience is like. And I know people want to see me pull big, cool, shiny cards, so I bought some of the cool new 151 set. Let's open them. Alright, it's time again. I've got my eyeless Torchic for good luck. Actually, a pretty nice box. So we should have 9 packs of Pokemon card goodness. And a promo of a tired guy. It is currently 3 AM. I too am a tired guy. Alright, 9 packs. Basically we win if we get the Charizard or the girl card. Either one of those is acceptable. Alright, let's go. Ooh, has it got something? It's got a holo. Holo Starmie. Really love that artwork. I swear the packs used to open the other way around. Like the code would be on the other side, but now it's here. Back in my day. Holo Chansey. Nidoking. Vaporeon. Did you know? Just noticed that I missed a holo energy in my last pack. Don't know how rare they are. Still cool. Ooh. Ooh, I see a treat. What we got? Ooh, we got Charmander. I imagine that's a good one to get. Not quite Charizard, but we're getting there. And Machamp holo. Alright, this is exciting. I can see something textured. Charizard, Charizard, Charizard. Giovanni's Charisma, I'll take it. Very nice. Aerodactyl. Oh, it's a good one. Zapdos. And a holo energy. Last pack is a Vileplume. Alright, so these are the pulls. Definitely a lot more fortunate than the Paldea box. Surprisingly, I think I just about broke even on this box. Because of the Charmander, this is the power of Charizard. But even if we didn't break even on the box, it's all good because we're just having a bit of Pokemon card fun. And because either way, it's going on my tax return.